There it is. Malibuish Pineapple Old Fashioned. How did I get here? What happened? Holy shit. Hey, I'm a fan and a friend of the Mover and Shaker and Company guys. They make very cool pins that you can get if you join my Patreon, and also we're gonna have some new pins that we're gonna be selling on their website, so you should check those out too. I'll put a link in the pinned comment and stuff right there. Anyway, they've got a really fun Instagram, and they've been doing this series on their Instagram, which you should follow, where they share these impossible, awful head-scratcher drink receipts that people have turned in from customer requests. So we're gonna call this episode, "The Customer is Always Wrong!" And today, we've printed out a bunch of those receipts, and Meredith threw them in a bowl. I don't know what's in here. And I'm gonna pull them out and see if I can make them on the fly. You know, I'm just gonna take it like we got the order, and we gotta make the drink. That's what this is about. That's it, that's the whole setup. Let's make some drinks. What is this one? Table 23, 4 guests. They want a Bulleit Rye Old Fashioned with an egg white. What? Hands of mystery. I'm gonna need a bottle of Bulleit Rye, some eggs. Thank you, Hands of Mystery. I don't want to make this drink. This is bad sounding. This hurts my brain. There is no earthly way to add an egg white to an old fashioned. This presents a conundrum. An old fashioned is a stirred drink. It is not a sour. It shall not be shaken. But yeah, I didn't even think, I guess if you're adding an egg white to an old fashioned, I guess you shake it. Maybe it'll actually be good. I don't know. Maybe the customer's right. Maybe this guy's onto something crazy. Let's find out. I got my simple syrup here. I'm gonna add a little bit, like a little more than a 1/4 ounce. You know, you don't want it to be too sweet. You still want it to be an old fashioned. Oh, my 2 dashes of Ango. Part of me is thinking like, what if you go more? But no, we should keep it like an old fashioned. And 2 ounces of Bulleit Rye, which by coincidence I happen to have. Probably bought this for the Manhattan Matrix. I'm gonna add an egg white. Yep, okay, that's it. Let's just shake that drink. Dry shake it. Ooh, frothy, I mean, might work. As nice. Yeah, it's old fashioned, right. So it's shook, egg white, but big rocks cube. I'm gonna double strain this one. Not very appealing looking. This is a bad looking drink. Just doesn't look good, but that doesn't mean much. Maybe this is a good drink and I've presented it poorly. Yes, I need an orange. I don't know, maybe this is gonna be good. I'll give it, this one I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. Peel an orange, peel, zippity-doo-dah. Egg white old fashioned for table 23. Let's see how it is. Weird. It's like, it's not as horrible as I expected it to be. It's not good. I don't love it. I don't like it at all. It's not like, huh. It's just kind of, huh? The more I think about it, the more I hate it. It's lost all of its snap. I think that shaking it has overwatered it. I really think that's kind of what it comes down to. And then we further diluted it with the egg white, because that's like an ounce of spirit that we added there. And so it's missing a lot of the qualities that make an old fashioned. It's not anymore really spirit forward. It's not like a showcase for the rye anymore. It is neither a sour nor an old fashioned. It sort of dissatisfies on both fronts without ever becoming a new thing that is good. I suppose one could drink it, but I choose not to. In conclusion, I will say that the customer at table 23 is wrong, and that this drink is bad. It is also unattractive. It is ugly and just terrible. Just terrible. Let's do another customer receipt right after this message from our sponsors. Hey guys, gonna keep this one short, just give me a minute. So Bright Cellars had an idea that they wanted me to try out, so they sponsored this one. So hey, thanks Bright Cellars. So if you've been watching the show for a while, you've probably heard me talk about Bright Cellars a few times on here, but to refresh your memory, Bright Cellars ships great wines from around the world straight to you, and they make it easy by figuring out what kind of wine you're gonna like for you. You just answer 7 little questions on their website, and then they use their space-age wine computer that connects the dots and it ships you just great wine. You enjoy the wine, fill out a little feedback on your account, and they use that to fine tune and really dial in your tastes and preferences. So far, I've really loved all the wine they've sent me. Some more than others, like anything, but there's been no giant flop bottles or anything like that. But you know all about that because I've been talking about bright cellars for a while now. But here is something fun. They asked me which of the wines they've sent me are my favorites, and I picked this Folk and Fable Cabernet. I just think it's a really solid red. Kind of just love this stuff. So they're going to include a bottle of my fave, the Folk and Fable, when you order your first 6-bottle box, which is delicious. I think it's plum and cherry fruit kind of forward without being overly sweet at all. Very well balanced, just super drinkable. For my money, it's a perfect wine. Perfect wine, honestly, it's exactly what I want. Hop on over to the website using the link below, do the little quickie quiz, and get half off your first 6-bottle box. Are we in a wine club together now? I think we are. I think we're in a club together now, you and me, because we're drinking the same wine. All right, thanks for sticking around, and now back to the show. Next receipt, here we go. Table 203 has requested a paper plane, no Aperol, sub cranberry. What? Magic hands. I need that. Cranberry juice. Oh yeah, that's ocean spray, it's good stuff. A lemon. Yes, this and that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's got the potential to be okay. It's all equal parts, so cut a lemon in half. I'm gonna go 1 ounce of lemon juice. Paper plane was invented at Milk and Honey. I think it was invented by Sam Ross, but I'm not actually sure off the top of my head. In our weirdo version that does not have Aperol, we're gonna do 1 ounce of cranberry juice. I don't know why you would do that. I understand not wanting Campari, but I can't understand not wanting Aperol. 1 ounce of Amaro Nonino, a nice Amaro, but I frankly only own it to make paper planes. And 1 ounce of strong, cask strength bourbon. Baker's would be fine. Shake that up with some ice. Strain away. And then we have the order for table 203, a paper plane with the Aperol swapped out for cranberry juice. Oh, it doesn't smell good. It's amazing how much one little thing can throw a drink off. Oh, that's bad. Wow, it's amazing how bad that turned that drink. Oh man, it's just so tart. What the hell? It's crazy how powerful cranberry is because that is the flavor of this drink. And just enough bourbon and Amaro come through over the cranberry and lemon that it kind of has like a note of rotting carrots, just like rotting putrid carrots, like a pile of rotten carrots. Yep. God damn. No, I hate this drink. Oh yeah, it's the peanut. The peanut and the bourbon comes out. But in this profile combo, it kind of tastes carroty. Yeah. I'm gonna pour this out now. I already poured it out, but the customer was wrong. 203, wrong. Wrong! Let's pull another one of these recipes out and see what I get. Seat 1, Madori Margarita. A Madori Margarita. Doesn't say with salt or without. Huh! Huh. A Midori Margarita. Hands of Fate, we're gonna need a few things. Thank you, Hands of Fate. Is this the Fortaleza Blanco? Yeah, okay, that's perfect. That's great. This is a top shelf margarita. Oh, the very finest Madori. 1 ounce of lime juice for a Madori Margarita. God, I do love the smell of lime juice. It's just unbelievable. Powerfully transportive, the smell of lime juice is. It's just like, where's the vacation? Love it. I need 1 ounce of Midori. If I just see Midori Margarita, I think you swap out the modifier. You swap out the Curacao, the Cointreau, whatever you want to use in your margarita, and you would make it the Midori. I've never had to make a Midori Margarita, so I don't have any idea what spec to use. I'm just gonna do this as if I was making a margarita, but not using Cointreau. I'm gonna use Midori. So I've got 1 ounce of Midori, which is probably a lot. And now I've got 2 ounces of my Blanco tequila using Fortaleza, which is a good Blanco tequila available from our friends at Curiada, where many fine spirits are sold. And we're gonna put some ice in here and shake it up. 1 ice cube goes in, 1 ice cube gets cracked. Shaky, shaky, shaky. Oh, a real margarita glass, even better than a coupe. Green. Whoa, that is green. I gotta tell you, if this is halfway drinkable, you garnish it out with a chunk of watermelon, it'll look good. I don't think it's gonna be halfway drinkable. Let's see if the customer over at table 1 with his Madori Margarita is onto something. No, they're not! Oh God, that's Oh, it gets weirder too. No, that's a bad drink. That's a bad one. Very few drinks are bad in that way. It is just so bitter. And just bitter. Not bitter, it's just so tart. It's so tart. I mean, it is so tart. Oh my God. And herby in all the ways you don't really want anything to be. It just kind of tastes like skunky and tart. Sour skunk. It's a skunk sour. That's what I'm gonna call this drink. You know, the one thing I do have to contemplate, although Midori is pretty sweet, it should be sweet. I really expected this drink to be sweet. I'm gonna try something stupid. I'm gonna throw it back in my shaker real quick, and I'm just gonna throw in like a drop of simple. I know a lot of people add some sweetness to their margs. Maybe when Table 1 was making these guys at home, as if. Maybe when they were making it at home, they made it a little sweeter, giving them really the benefit of the doubt. Oh my God, though. It's absolutely luminescent. It's so green. I swear to God, this drink is actually glowing. Well, it's way less tart. It is still terrible. It has no goodness. There is no goodness in this. It has a soul that is made of just vile filth. It is a bleak abyss of despair. This drink is worse than any drink has right to be, considering what a simple combination of ingredients it is. It's not like I took a bunch of Tabasco sauce and mayonnaise and egg whites and vodka or something like that and threw that together and made a joke of it. Like, this is an honest attempt at somebody making a drink, and it's unbelievable how bad it is, given all of those things being true. For a single substitution, the smell of rotting hay. That is a very specific smell that is so bad. Just the foulest smell. If you've ever been a couple of times, they've used hay bales around, like when they were doing construction and changing an interchange, and then they left them out in the rain and they got wet and then they rotted in the sun. That hay bale rotting smell, it's in this drink. If you've ever wanted to have that as a cocktail, the Madori Margarita is the luminescently neon green drink for you. And with that, I conclude that the customer at Table 1 is fucking wrong, and that this drink must be poured into the gutter of history. And sometimes it just like surprises you with this very like, surprise, mint, hello. You know, it's like you've just grown accustomed to the nightmare of rotting, skunk-piled, maggot-infested hay bales, and then mint. I think I can stomach one more receipt. Let's see here. Oh, this one was right on top. What's this? From the patio well, table 322 in the dining room. A Malibu Pineapple Old Fashioned. What the fuck? Who would do that? Why would you do that? Malibu Pineapple Old Fashioned? Not Malibu, not the coconut rum liqueur, but the pineapple variant of the coconut rum liqueur. I don't think I've got pineapple Malibu. Do I have some kind of a pineapple rum? Bring that in, mysterious hands. Oh, good, in the plastic jug. Parrot Bay Pineapple, Caribbean rum with natural pineapple flavors. Only 21% alcohol by volume. Look, Malibu is not a rum, it's a sweetened, highly sweetened liqueur, with the Parrot Bay pineapple being at 21 proof, 21%. I have a regular bottle of Malibu. Oh yeah, mysterious hands, bring me the Malibu. I think it's gotta be in the same ballpark. Oh, 21%, look at that. I think we're in business. I have a funny feeling this will be really good analog to the Malibu. You know, it's not a perfectly scientific experiment, but let's see how, a quick taste, a little nip. Yeah, that's what I like once in a while, a little nip of the Parrot Bay pineapple rum. Yeah, top of the morning to you here. Whoa! What the fuck? It tastes like pineapple. It does not taste like rum. It tastes real bad. There's an element of that does not taste ingestible. Like, I always joke that Malibu tastes like drinking suntan lotion. But like the smell of suntan lotion, I assume that drinking suntan lotion would taste like your body rejecting it because it's made of poison. That's what this tastes like. Just as soon as it hits your throat, your body's like, get it out of me. So we're gonna make an old fashioned with that. Okay, get yourself a nice big cube of ice there. There you go. Add to it your couple dashes of Angostura Bitters. I think that with a Malibu pineapple old fashioned, you can go 3 or 4 actually. You know, normally just 2, but I would go a little extra on the bitters maybe. I don't normally do this kind of thing, but like I'm going to put in the smallest amount of simple syrup I could possibly manage. A drop, boop, that's it. Not a bar spoon, but like a dasher of simple, because this is all sugar. And adding more sugar will be a mistake. And now 2 ounces of plastic bottle Parrot Bay Pineapple rum. Not a sponsor of this episode, by the way. I don't want anybody to think that we're showing favoritism. There it is. One Malibuish Old Fashioned. Just stir that in the glass until it's done. Feel your soul leave your body. No, I'm just waiting for the glass to get cold. There it is, the icy embrace of the void. Perfect. And a twist of orange, as an Old Fashioned should have. That's very important to the preparation of this drink, so don't mess around with that. Yeah, you want to make sure you get all those oils. I like to drop it right in the glass. And there it is, Malibuish Pineapple Old Fashioned. How did I get here? What happened? Holy shit. That's a smell. Pulp mill. Yeah, like it's got straight up cabbage fart smell. Okay, let's see how the Malibuish Pineapple Old Fashioned is that was ordered for table 322. What? What the fuck? Oh God. You have to track down who ordered this. Wars will spring up in this person's wake. Nation will rise against nation. The seas will turn as blood. This person is the Antichrist. What had to be wrong with your mind? Come up with this. A non-diseased soul could not have come up with a sentence such as Malibu Pineapple Old Fashioned. It just ain't right. I don't know how else to express to you the wretchedness of this glass. Oh, it's all pulp mill. It just tastes like drinking a pulp mill, like rot and decay, tinged with slightly spicy bitterness and fetid pineapple notes. It's plenty sweet. It was the right call to not add sweetness. Oh, good Lord. This drink makes me want to quit the show. This drink should be a meme. I swear to God. I defy you to come up with a drink worse than this. That's a real drink. That's not just like, oh, I put together some motor oil and horse jizz. You know, like that would be worse, sure. But like that's not a thing that you could actually do. Go into your bar and invent a worse drink than the Malibu Pineapple Old Fashioned. You cannot. It cannot be done. There should be a fucking X Prize for this. Oh my God! I didn't know that flavor was possible via known organic compounds. My Lord. Holy shit, that's bad. There's no part of you when drinking this that screams, uh-oh, you drank ammonia or bleach or something like that. Like, it never manages to fall outside of the imagined range of flavorable tastes. I don't know how else to explain that, but like, this is like a color out of space. You know, it's just a taste. It's just a flavor, but it burns so. This customer is both very, 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 very wrong and also very, very dangerous. The person who invented this drink is a danger to all who surround them. No customer could be more wrong. This customer is very wrong. Oh my God. I can't do any more of these damned receipts, but as you can see, there's quite a few more of these left. So maybe we can revisit this idea when I've recovered. If you really want to see more of this, let me know. Shout out to Mover and Shaker for collating and doing the research on this one for us. Thank you guys, Mover and Shaker. Also, thank you for making these excellent pins. And why don't you check out Mover and Shaker's Instagram and the store where you can now purchase your very own How to Drink pin. We have a little lineup that we've been working on. And check them out. That'll be in the pinned comment below. If you try Malibu Old Fashioned, I'd love to know how you like it. I don't know, maybe it would be good with Malibu, maybe. Certainly with Parrot Bay Pineapple Caribbean rum with natural pineapple flavors, it's bad.
Shall we do a pineapple rum old fashioned matrix?
I don't know if my microphone picked up that person's voice, who I no longer know, suggesting an unspeakable act that we must never speak again. Please call for help. The authorities should be notified. Or just watch more How to Drink. Hey, check out these other episodes of the show that you might have missed, because I've been making it for a long time. And I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon, and all those things. And I'll put them links down there in the pinned comment below. I'll see you guys very soon with another episode of HTD. I have to go gargle. I have to go gargle now for a while. Goodbye.